Hello? The microphone is on, I think. Let me quickly get some water. I was almost done preparing. Hi. Hello Milan, hello Red Netherbrick, Maestoso Unknown, Werewolf Noob, me Meta. Let's see who else is there. I don't know if there's anyone else. Poppy Go Pop maybe. I saw you earlier in the stream. Before the stream actually. Let me move on right to this tier list stream and oh boy, the chat is there. Okay, yeah. I forgot about the chat, so I don't know what I'm gonna do exactly with the chat. Maybe I should hide it. And then the camera has to turn on. There you go. It's on the wrong spot though. Oh. I'm quickly gonna fix this. It has to be in the right spot. Surely we can put it in the right spot, right? Is this okay? Yeah. Only thing I need to change now is the... We have to put it on the... We have to cut some of the right. Next tier list, roles that are most sus. Like as in, what roles are sus to claim? I don't know if that's what you mean. Hello Magic, how are you? I've seen you in some previous streams too. Hypo roll S tier. Yes, there is no hypo roll though quite yet, but I don't think that will ever come either. Surely someday there will be like not a roll after me, but surely someday there will be like an hypnosis. I don't know, a roll that starts with the prefix hypo and then I don't know. Like, it's kind of a... It's not that common of a prefix, but it's possible. There's a fly here. Okay, that's annoying. Now it's fine, yes. Maybe a werewolf tier list. Yeah, I have made a tier list. Like, a tier list on stream, we could do that one day. But I'm not going to make a tier list just for myself quite yet. Like, I don't know for you guys who don't know, but this is a... This is a tier list. We're gonna make this together, or mostly you. And next week I will upload the top 10 of my solo killers, my best solo killers, or my best. I don't know. That sounds like my win rate best, but more like the strongest in my opinion. You're the guy who sent you the werewolf and serial killer tier list. Oh yeah, that's you. Okay, yeah, I know who. I remember who that someone sent that. Yeah. Yeah, you can tell what the role does, sure. We have some time here in the chat. Anyways, the idea for this tier list, you guys are just... We're gonna pick a role, not by strong... We're not gonna start with the weakest role, because you decide the weakest role, so we cannot really start with the weakest role. Like, I can start with roles that are probably gonna be weak, but you guys decided in the end, so... Yeah. We just start with the... I'm just gonna start with how it looks like on my... the order how they are in OBS. So... We're gonna start with the Siren. And you guys get to... how do we do this actually? It's been a while since I did a tier list stream. That's been 2020 or so. I think you guys just get some opinions. I want to see like a common... amount of opinions. Let's see if we like if there's nobody who says it's an S tier or nobody says no top 10. By the way, mind you, there's 14 killers. There have to be exactly 4 roles in the bottom tier. Exactly 4. Will it be any game we play? Maybe. Come on, the fly. Where are you? I'm on a hunt now. Okay. I don't know. When it shows up, it's gonna die. With my electrocution weapon. It's only because of the bypass, protect and death. It's annoying, but you can barely win as him. Yeah, it's a straw. Yeah, so... personally, how I will go off my top 10 by strength is really win rate. Because... Not like my win rate, but chance to win. Because... Obviously, a Siren... A Siren is a primary example of that. Because... A Siren might be strong in a game, and it might be a strong role for the Evil Alliance if used correctly, but for its own sake, the tagging doesn't really make it much stronger, honestly, so... Ooh, I almost had the fly. Oh, the fly has to... It's pissing me off, really. OG Zombies, hello Joker, and welcome Rabek as well. I read its role description and it seemed like ours, though. Rabek, you have not played Siren yet? Siren is pretty flexible, especially with the recent buff of being able to select new players to entrance. Yes. It is flexible, I guess. You've not played it, okay. So, I'm gonna say something about the Siren. There was a vote in the community in Discord for role changes for the next update, and Siren is actually one of the roles that got the most votes. And what the change is gonna do is when Siren has selected everyone, it automatically wins, which is a huge change. I am really reluctant on it, honestly. I don't think it's gonna be good, but because I think it's gonna be too strong. But I'm willing to give it a chance and see if it actually... Like, surely if it's really actually that OP, they have to revert it back. But, if it... Yeah, they have to revert it back if it's too strong. And if it's actually not that bad of a change, then, yeah, that would be fine. The prankster can twice per game use their ability. The ability will have one of the following effects. 1, the next time they use their skill, it will fail. 2, you can select a dead player and they will revive for 1 meeting. So that's like a temporary medium. Only thing is you... Milan, I don't know, you probably are not familiar with role design. But in Wolvesville, roles may not have RNG. So if it's like a chance to fail and a chance to succeed, that would be rejected because it has to be guaranteed either of the two. Okay, so I see a lot of... I think there's nobody who says like not top 10 or S tier. So what I'm gonna do in that case is I'm gonna just make a poll. Like, I've not seen a certain settlement on a certain tier yet, but I will just make a poll. And for every role we are gonna do this probably. But it's... Since we have 5 tiers, I cannot make all of them possibilities in a poll from the get-go. So we're gonna include A, B, and C for the Siren. And you guys get... I'm gonna give you guys 2 minutes, actually. Normally I just give... Oh, no, yeah, I can... No, there's no timer, actually, on polls on YouTube. I forgot about that. This is a Twitch thing. You can't think of many killers worse than Siren besides Bomber and SK. There is, I would say there is a valid point there. Your leg goes hard. Oh boy, there's also a lot of lag for me, but I don't know if that was the case. I probably just have to close my other stream. That's gonna save some dropped frames. Joker, what do you mean? We sit here for a long time. I think it's not gonna be that long, honestly. Like, only 14 rolls, and then we do the setup cup draw, and then it's over for the stream. So that's exactly how long it's gonna be. Wait, I missed some chat. You did this tier list on stream on Twitch and it took 3 hours? We're actually joking, for real? 14 rolls only? It can now change the entrance players instead of killing them. Yeah. Exactly. So it's a bit stronger than it used to be. And it might become even stronger if they're gonna actually implement the change that Siren wins automatically when everyone is selected. Because, that, mind you, that's gonna save a whole... That's gonna mean that the Siren can win a 1v3. Even though the village has... Even if the free players are all like villagers, all mayors, whatever. Or even a gunner with a bullet. Like, if they just select 3 players and they're all like the less players, then it's just an automatic win for the Siren. That's gonna be such a... That's a game changer. For the Siren, of course, for Siren games. For example, the Instigator will have 2 recruits, 1 villager, 1 Wolvesville killer. If the recruits are bandits, sect leaders, and zombies, what if they turn someone to their team? Do they win? Oh, that's an interesting question that you sent there. Oh god, the fly is here again. Hello? Oh, that was my microphone. I believe that's... I think with Instigator it's similar to Cupid. So if you're a sect leader and you're instigated, as sect leader you have to win with the insti, so you have to betray your sect members. You can actually use them as a tool, as a toy, pretty much. Whereas a sect member, if you're a sect member in that situation and you're not recruited, obviously, then I'm not sure exactly. Wait, let me think of that. Yeah, I don't think you can win as sect member actually, because you have to kill the recruits in order to win, but then the sect leader dies too. That's actually interesting. If you're a sect member and your sect leader is recruited, you're just screwed. There's no way of winning. You one stream free, other one too. Oh, yeah, but Joker, you did the tier list with all the roles, I suppose. And I just do 14 solo killers, so that's a big change, a big difference. I'm not going to do RVs quite yet. Like in terms of the streaming plan, next week there's no stream, and the week after we'll continue Setup Cup. So there will be more tier list streams, probably around June, July in the summer. One was evil, one was village. Yeah, if you make a village stream, a village tier list in one stream, that's a long stream for sure. I think there's a consensus on B tier. Big majority says B tier, so yeah, let's go B tier it is. Okay, lock in the Siren. We're gonna move to the next role, which is the Shapeshifter. Alright, so I'm curious to see what you guys think of the Shapeshifter. You can just, for now, throw in some random tiers that you, or random, I don't know. Just throw in the tier you think it should be, and then, based off what you guys all say, I will pick the most logical tiers for the pool. What does Shapeshifter do? So Shapeshifter is basically a serial killer, and if you kill someone, you appear as that role that you killed for the next, I don't know, for the time till you have killed another player, then you will turn into that role with your appearance. So basically, it's like a reverse shaman, kinda. The question, yeah. So the rule for this tier list, at the end of the tier list, there will be 4 roles in the not top 10 section. I'd imagine there's like a lot of, there's only probably 2 roles that will like immediately fall there in it. Yeah, but maybe 3. But if we're gonna need to add more, then we'll just do another poll at the end and see what C tier role has to go down, for example. So that's how we can fix that later, the bottom tier. It is like yeah, it's like Wolf Trickster, but you don't need to miss things. You can just kill at night and then you already turn. So yeah. You put Shapeshifter, Serial Killer, Arsonist, and Bomber. Yeah, there's probably a good argument for that, Apto. Yeah, it doesn't. It also does not hide the victim's role, because if that were the case, this would be a stronger corruptor. And then it would be a lot higher for me as well. Then it's probably like an A tier type of role. But then I think for now it's, yeah. I think the Shapeshifter is not top 10. Yeah, I'd imagine so. It can be worse than SK as it kills 2 players every 2 nights when SK kills every 1 night. I know this is based on strength, but still Siren is really bad. I disagree with that take, because I think the kill rate is like, yeah, essentially the same for SK and Siren, but Siren can bypass. That's something you should not forget and also not underestimate. And you can also now change the selection at night. Of course you cannot kill in that case, but... So if you accidentally like stacked 3 werewolves night 1, you don't have to kill them. You can change it night 2. Shapeshifter is kind of like a field role. Yeah, I mean, it's difficult because if you're gonna buff it, it's gonna be a stronger corruptor. If you're gonna like hide rolls of others as well. And I don't know, I like the concept of you turning into other roles, but I don't know if it's like... It's kind of too weak for corruptor, and maybe... I don't know if too strong for SK, because Kenny and Evil Detective are pretty strong too, but yeah. Oh yeah. What's the strongest tier is S tier, and the top one, the red one, and the weakest is the not top 10 tier. How many solo killers? 14. I'm not including Instigator, Cupid, by the way, but there is Bandit and that tree. 14. Yeah, so it's like out of my head, it's 4. It's like the test roll. It's the Shapeshifter. It's Arsonist has 4 rolls, and then the other 3 trees have all 3 rolls. So it's 9 plus 4 is 13, and plus Shapeshifter is 14. C tier is not the weakest tier, no. It's the weakest tier of the ones that are like top 10, I guess. Alright, I've not seen anyone make an argument for like actually belonging to a strong tier, so I'm gonna make a poll now. What tier for Shapeshifter? So we'll just do... I don't think anyone is gonna argue with an A tier placement either way. Or like that we... I don't have to include that, essentially. Not top 10, there you go. We'll choose just B, C and not top 10. Let's see what that brings. There you go. We don't include A and S here because there's nobody who said A and S. That's way too... that would be way too high for the Shapeshifter. Okay, so Arso is such a role with the... People are so divided on how strong Arso is. I always see that. There's like people say that Arso belongs to the not top 10. There's also people who say Arso's A tier, or... That's like the most... That's gonna be an interesting debate for sure. The Arsonist. SSR top 1 RK role. Hell no. You fake Shapeshifter desert S tier? I don't think so. You think Arso's S tier the lab cult, or is that a joke? I'm actually curious where the Arso is gonna end up, but we'll see that pretty late, I think. Okay, I think it's pretty clear that the not top 10 is where this role is gonna go to. Okay. we're gonna go to the next one, which is the SK. Alright, the SK also somewhat divisive because it's no way that it's an S tier. Like that's like putting Forkman in S tier, but the SK is there's people who argue it's not the worst. Well, it's probably not the actual worst role, but like there's also people who don't think it's in the not top 10 tier. Maybe there's people putting it in B or C or even A. Yeah, personally I'm kind of torn on what's the weakest, SK or Bomber. I gotta maybe I should boot up my game real quick. I will let you guys can discuss a bit. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna boot up Wolvesville. Let me get Wolvesville on there. I will show you my win rate with these roles. With these two, with SK and Bomber particularly. Let's go. Okay, this is without cam. This is my full screen recording scene. Alright, where do we get this from? Roles. I will show you my SK win rate. So, legacy stats, 5 wins, 78 defeats, and now I have a 2 out of 7 for the non-legacy. So 2 wins. Actually, recently I got one of those. Like, last week, essentially. And then, yeah, my win rate is like around 30%, but that's only on 7 games, so I'm not really gonna... I think it's not really fair. Have to say, though, that these are like sandbox stats, and the legacy stats are... there are a lot of ranked stats as well. So winning as SK in ranked is harder in my opinion. And then I have the Bomber. Where's the Bomber here? So my legacy stats say 3 out of 3 wins, 20 defeats. And in my modern stats it's 1 win, 3 defeats. So for me they are kind of similar then, I guess. Yeah, they are kind of similar. But yeah, that's my that's in terms of the stats for me. I'm gonna go back to the tier list. There you go. You guys are discussing the SL, but the SL is coming actually next. But we'll discuss SL next. Thank you for the donation. SK is an S. Oh, I don't know, man. Thank you for the dono, Joker. But guys, tell me some tiers that I need to put in the poll for the SK, because you guys don't really talk about the SK anymore. It's all the other roles. Like, I think it's gonna be not top 10, but... I once win with Bomber on 25. On 25 player... Oh, that's actually... I don't know if that's, like, harder or not. Like, yeah, it's harder because more players, so lower chance to win. But... I don't... Initially, there's gonna be so many possible lines to make. But at some point, late game, the spreading out is even worse, I suppose, as in the 25 player lobby. Okay, I see a lot. Okay, I'm gonna just make this a two-sided poll. We'll make it C tier or not top 10. Alright, let's see. You think SK is better than Siren? I still don't know, man. I don't think it is. I just like the flexibility the Siren has, and also the fact that it can pierce through protection. Siren is gonna be even stronger soon. Yeah. Siren just... Maybe you can't win with Siren. That's also a thing. I've won as Siren. Siren is stronger than SK, yeah. It's not much stronger, maybe. Although not yet. Because soon it will be. Yeah, exactly, NBZ. I agree. SK was like just the initial killer. Now it's like everything is SK but stronger, except for the bomber maybe. But that's a completely different story. I think solo killers are similar in terms of strength, except zombies. I'm curious to see what will happen with the zombies actually. I don't even know if they need a new base. Yeah, they probably need a new base roll so that we don't get issues with roll cards. But other than that, I don't think we need even a new base roll for Evil Detective and Kenny. We can just have like, I'd say like probably Cannibal as the base roll. I don't know, it's kind of weird. I genuinely, if they would remove SK, I like that idea. Like I've suggested it as well, but I don't know which of the two then, Evil Detective or Cannibal, should be base roll if they're not gonna make a new roll. Like I genuinely don't know. SK or Cannibal is like probably a bit more. Like in concept they're both pretty easy, but I know that like people just like to click quickly, so then Evil Detective makes more sense as the base roll, but it's a little bit, the mechanics are a bit more complex still for the Evil Detective. So I guess Cannibal should be base roll, but it's also the stronger roll, but actually strength doesn't really matter. You think the gap between Evil Detective and Kenny is bigger than... Oh, that's an interesting take, Maestos, because I've seen someone in Discord recently. I think it was in the Wolvesville Discord, the main, and there was someone who showed how good they were with Evil Detective. They said like, oh wow, this is the strongest RK or something. Or almost. Like one of the strongest RKs. But I actually don't think Evil Detective is that strong. But maybe I just don't know how to play with it correctly. In a 1v1, SK beats Core and Elu. That is true. Also Arso. But SK beats every role in a 1v1 except for Evil Detective, Bandit, and Kenny, I guess. But how often are you gonna see 1v1 with those roles as SK? Corruptor is the healthiest solo role. Maybe? I could make an argument for that, yes.
Zombie is not top 10.
I don't agree with that, Joker, but I do have to say I saw Zombie as the strongest role, but I'm not sure if I still put it as the strongest RK actually. But that I don't think it's like in the not top 10 tier, honestly. Like that's a bit too low for me. The poll is pretty, yeah, clear on it going into the not top 10 tier. SK. As I said earlier, the next role is going to be Sect Leader. Now you're going to have an interesting case here. Well, most of these roles are actually interesting. Like, I think there's only one, there's maybe like 3 roles still that are like easy placements, but other than that, I don't know, man. This could go anywhere. And just saying, we are really talking about chance to win with this role, by the way. So, yeah. Like, I think, for me, I don't know, it sounds kind of strange, but for me, Sect Leader is like it's probably the second strongest role now, but it might be the strongest, depending on how good you play with it. You like the chaos caused by Sect Leader. Oh, you don't, Mohammed, you have missed, I think you've missed the Sect Hunters setup that we did like 2 streams ago. Because that was so boring. I remember, like the chat was like so bored. No offense to the creator there, but, and also it was my fault of taking that setup because it was like heavily criticized. But Sect Leader games can do the total opposite of chaos. They can be super boring, but that might be also just that setup. Sect Hunter is on classic game. Sect Leader is one of those roles that becomes... Yeah, it is. Mehmet, I'm just gonna say why I did the not top 10 tier. That is because I'm gonna make a top 10 next week of the strongest solo killers. So there's gonna be 4 roles are not gonna feature in that video, and I wanna compare it to what you guys make, basically at the end. Welcome, Gus. Welcome in, and also Smiley. If you were just there, oh no, you were already there. SL is top 4. I don't know what you have like in your top 4 then. I would say it's top 3 easily. Most players are bad Sect member players. It really depends on how you play as Sect leader too, because if you do secret messages, people will probably catch that and play along. But yeah, if you don't really try to communicate in different ways with the Sect members, then yeah, they maybe not have the best instinct for like what's best for the Sect. Yeah, it's GG's when the Sect leader dies. That's the weakness of Sect leader. I think the strength of Sect leader is this. Yeah, that's pretty clear actually. The strength of Sect leader is like early game you can get members more quickly than the zombie, and in most games the zombies don't get to convert that many players. I've noticed. That's probably because of the changes that happened to it. Should I buy it for 4? Buy what? Let me check. No, don't buy Super Fangs for 400 euros. That's way too much money. I don't even know if you have that. But if you do, I don't know. You'll probably better spend by buying something else. Being a werewolf in SL game is hard. It is. But does that also mean that Sect leader winning is easy, though? Yeah, confirmed goods, exactly. Alright, I'm gonna make a poll because I feel like it's pretty evident you guys think this should be in a higher tier. Sect leader belongs where? Question mark. I've seen mostly A, but I'm gonna include S and B as well. I've not seen anyone vote say like it's a C or not top 10 role. Insti SL, yeah, that's strong. That's great. I don't think I've ever experienced being instigated as Sect leader, but you get just to convert people. Then first you can gain trust, and then you can sacrifice them to kill werewolves, for instance. And since if you're lucky, you're well, I don't know, you actually need a protector at some point as well, but yeah. I'm voting A because high risk of dying by werewolf attack early in game. Yeah, but zombie is the same thing then, I have to say. Like if you kill zombie night 1 or 2, it's also over for the zombie. The thing I think is the most... where I'd say the Sect leader is the most vulnerable out of the converter roles is junior attacks and shadow werewolves and berserks. That's like the werewolves with those abilities. And also I guess gunner and stuff, but like I would say that's the actual biggest weakness of the Sect leader. But equally so, bomber or the bandit has a weakness too, namely like only two team members alive at the same time, and zombie is like, well, everyone is basically a villager, but more like the zombies is really about numbers, to be fair. Can you give... Oh yeah, I should maybe give Super Fangs a heart. I can do that. I'm gonna give them a heart. I can give them hearts, yes. Convert 5 people, then lynch your partner and boom, everyone dies. Yeah, that's also possible, I guess. And then the instigator clutches it out. Uh, 5-0 show, I'd say it might be the weakest amongst the banditry, but I still think it's like stronger than pretty much any non-converter role, honestly. So I would still put it in A or S tier, personally. Oh my god, the opinions are really split for A and S tier. Okay, we need more votes, actually. It's like 50-50 on the two. Nah, someone changed votes. Oh no, someone added a vote, but it's to the B tier, okay. The first vote to be added, I will... Okay. I'm gonna end the poll there. Who voted B? Yeah, B is really low, honestly. It's gonna be A tier, I guess. Kindest YouTuber, I don't know about that. Lol. There's like so many kind people, like how is that possible to compare? Let's go to the next one. SL deserves S. I also put it on S, I think. SL is in like my top 2 or top 3 strongest solo killers. Now, the next role, I'm actually really curious to see where you guys put this, because this might actually divide some opinions. This is actually something I imagine goes somewhere in the middle, but we'll see. First place is Mr. Beast. I don't know. I'm not gonna judge. Alright. Illu. It's time for the Illusionist. Also, I think Sect is B just because zombie is so much better. Okay, well, in that case, I assume that you put like... Then I can imagine you put it in B tier, but then I also think that you are gonna put like all the regular killers like in B or C tier, or in the top 10, I guess, for the weak ones. If SL wasn't on A, I would have even put Illu in S. But now SL is on A, so Illu can only be A. I actually don't know, man. I think Illu would be a B case for me. But also, I'm gonna show you something shocking, guys. I'm gonna show you something shocking. I have never won as Illu. I actually have terrible stats with the Illusionist. Same with Blight, I guess. But Blight's like, I don't know. I've like played this twice, like last week. And Corruptor, which is supposedly weaker, which I would still agree with. But yeah. I do have okay stats for the Corruptor, or okay, I don't have okay stats for the Corruptor. I have at least one win at least, but yeah. I don't have okay stats with the Corruptor either, but I've never won as Illu, so for me the Illu, I don't know if it's cursed for me, but I'm just not good at Illu. And that's because it's really intuitive, or it's counterintuitive for me, because on the one side you want to kill quickly so that you hide rolls, and the other side you wanna like not kill because you want people to be checked or framed as Ilu and then get some mislinches. So I don't really have... I've not really figured out a playstyle yet. My win rate with SK is literally higher, for example. I think Cannibal is like my highest of the regular killers. Like my... In the modern time, I have like a 50-50 win rate with Cannibal, for example. So, yeah. Like my overall highest win rate, by the way, is Zombie. But that's... yeah. My legacy sets with Zombie 79 wins, 20 defeats. Like, that is actually an 80% win rate. And then the modern sets like 2 losses, 0 wins. Can you show your blight wins? I have no blight wins. I have played it twice and lost twice. I think you're just bad at playing as solos. I am bad with solos. Maybe not with Cannibal though. With Cannibal I have a decent track record actually, but with... Yeah, because my legacy, even my legacy stats are not that bad. Like, if you combine this is like 12 games, of which 4 won. So that's like a 33% win rate with Cannibal, which is not bad actually. That's actually pretty high, I'd say. Like I think something like average, like an average, I don't know, 10-15% would be like average, I suppose, for solo killer wins. But yeah, some of them are like really low for me, and some are high, but only because I have limited data. I've not played that many games as most solos. Siren is like kind of weird because 20% win rate, but also 20% tie rate. Alright, I will go back to the tier list, by the way. But you think it's all Ilu A or B? It's really strong against Detective. Yeah, if you're gonna keep players on the disguise, it is. I mostly play Ilu as a quick killer, though. But then it's slower than SK, but still it hides roles, I guess. Also, informers can copy paste their info before death. Yeah, that's something someone pointed that out to me when I still thought like Ilu was literally stronger corruptor. Someone said to me like, yeah, Ilu, if they're a bit slow, the informers can still put their info out, and that could be detrimental to the Ilu, of course. Whereas with corruptor, they cannot do that because they're like immediately shut up, essentially. So yeah, Hello, Riddle. Yeah, Warden is S tier for you. Yeah, maybe it is, just in general, I have to say. But yeah, let's make a tier list for the Ilu. I don't think there's anyone who argues it's gonna be an S tier. You know, it's no, I've not seen a single person say S tier. Where goes Ilu? We'll do A, B. I will do not top 10 as well there. Although, nah, I don't think I've seen not top 10 actually there. Nobody said that. We can always put it in not top 10 if it lands in C and we need to move stuff. Alright, guys, go vote. A, B, C. You're biased to the fact that I've never won as it. With what role? With Ilu, yeah. Yeah, I have that same thing with Ilu, kinda. I'm checking if I have like crazy win rates with something else. Like crazy or crazy bad. Like Alchemist is 20%. Bomber is like around 20% as well. Evil Detective is not that high, I think. 22%. Sect leader in the modern day is 17%. That's pretty low, actually. What about the base roles? Corruptor, I already checked that one. Also around 20%. Arso, 15%. I was also not that good with Arso in Also for me it's like 12 to 15% only. Bandit then? With Bandit I have a 100% win rate in the modern day and 0% win rate in the legacy stats. Okay, funny. See you later, Milan. I have a... That's kind of funny. Like, I have 5 games as Bandit. 3 in legacy stats, 3 defeats. And then 2 in the modern stats. And that's 2 wins. Even, it's kind of weird. Because nothing really changed between that time. Arso is really rewarding, yes. Okay, so... Chat has decided that, yeah, this is a pretty clear A tier. I would not agree, but yeah, it's your tier list. You're only 24 away from having a full advanced deck. The only reason I do not have an advanced 4 is Wolvesville and Auras here. Oh, 24 common roll cards. That's actually nice, your boy Velos. Like, I have a full deck, but that's me. Actually, not even. I have like temporary cards for what? For the Ghost Wolf and the Blight, I have temporary cards. I think on my tier list, either would be B tier. It's like middle of the pack for me, essentially. Alright, next. Evil Detective. Now, what about the Evil Detective? Sect on A tier is illegal. I think what's illegal here is Sect and Edu on the same tier. That's illegal. If you... I don't know. You can put Sect leader on A, but then Edu should be B or so. But it's kind of difficult because Siren is on B as well. And I don't know if Edu is probably stronger than Siren with quite a margin too. So... Ide is... Well... Evil Detective is gonna be... I'm not sure where I put it exactly, but I don't have it particularly high. Especially now with the headhunter change. That's a big change because for the Evil Detective, because previously the headhunter would just sometimes expose themselves. Yeah, that was like, okay, easy double kill. You kill the headhunter, you kill a villager. But now that's... Headhunter is your friend. So now there is no easy double kills anymore as Evil Detective. So you... Most of the time, for me, I'd say the Evil Detective is just an SK with an option. Sometimes in the late game it can be really useful to do double kills, but then you have to make it to the end game in the first place. And I don't really particularly think that Evil Detective has great tools to make it to the end game that easily. So that's why Evil Detective, for me, it's like a C. It's like in the bottom somewhere. Not like it's not like in the same debate as Shapeshifter, SK, and Bomber. Absolutely not. But it's in the of the like stronger killers. It's definitely in the bottom for me. But I'm curious to see where you guys are gonna put it. I'd say either low C or not top 10. Yeah, that's where I would put the Evil Detective as well. But I see also chatters saying Evil Detective has good song, so S. No, that's not gonna be... yeah, you might like the song, but that's not gonna really change anything about the strength. Unless it puts extra motivation to win, I suppose. Then it could help you with your strength, but... Yeah, I'm curious to see that difference too. Maestoso points out. What's the difference that makes Evil Detective A and SK S? Or S, not top 10, I should say. Yeah, that's same for me, Arno. So, Evil Detective, it's like, I would say 100% stronger than SK. That's like, there's no questions asked there. But unless you're gonna count in the bounty and stuff, like evil detective is stronger, thus people are more willing to kill it. But evil detective, I don't think it's that much stronger. Like, I would say Cannibal is stronger because saving up kills for certain situation when certain roles are out because werewolves have killed them. Like, I would say something what's really useful for me for Cannibal is you can stack up kills when there's when there's tough guys in the game, when there's spirit seers in the games, or just morticians, you know. So that's really useful when you're a Cannibal, because then you can just save up the kills. You're gonna go completely under the radar, at least when it comes to deduction from killing. And then, boom, you can attack a couple players at some point when the werewolves got rid of them, for example. Because maybe Junior Werewolf runs into the tough guy, and maybe the Junior Werewolf has tagged the Spirit Seer or the Mortician, or a Fool has counterclaimed Mortician and just gets the Mortician lynched or whatever. But that's why I think Cannibal is stronger than Evil Detective, even though the Evil Detective is the only role of those that actually could add kills. And, you know, I would say if there was a werewolf team consisting of 6 werewolves, for example, then Evil Detective suddenly gets a lot of strength, because then double kills is actually probably even required to do. And then it's mostly gonna be the werewolves trying to hunt you down instead of the village. So then Evil Detective gets a lot of strength, but it's not the case. It's just 4 werewolves and sometimes 5 with a werewolf fan. And I don't know, maybe in rank there might be different setups that have 5 by default, but I don't think anyone has made... I'm gonna just make a poll now. And I'm not gonna include the S tier. We'll just include every other tier though. E that A, B, C, not top 10. Yeah, you can let's see what we'll see what we're gonna get this E. I think you're gonna put it in the C tier. That's the thing I've seen mostly in the chat, but maybe it's higher, maybe not. I don't think FIFO Show is the laptop. No, I think the laptop is someone else. I know the laptop though. The laptop is kind of a troll, honestly. At least, like, I don't know, his opinions are kind of weird, but also I remember the one day that I hosted a custom game, I put it on the main Discord in the general chat, and then the laptop joined and he like was starting to throw, and yeah. So he can have his opinions, but I don't have a lot of respect for him as a player. Yeah, Mirak, that's him. Yeah, that's the name. Yeah. Yeah, I forgot about the username, but that's exactly him. Vote not top 10. There's actually people voting it not top 10, which is fair, because I mean Bomber might be not top 10, but then we still need one more role, and I don't know if any of the other roles will be there. Yeah, he has ults too, right? Yeah, he makes shitty posts. Yes, he does. Bomber has bypass protection, yeah, but I'd still say it's so much weaker still than Alchemist, and also probably Arsonist and Siren. Can we maybe rethink? We can do that at the end. Yeah, we can do some. I'm not gonna do that all the time, but rethinking. But maybe at the end we will see if we can move some stuff around. Okay, let me check the poll. Okay, it is close, but I'm gonna call Evil Detective for the C tier. Of course, eventually we will have 4 roles in the bottom, and if Evil Detective is just the only role here in the C tier, we're gonna put it down. That's just how it goes automatically then, but there might be a big difference in perception still. Alright, next, Corruptor. Corruptor time, let's go. Bomber is fun. Yeah, it can be fun, yeah. If you're not trying to win, it's fun, I suppose. Anything other than A is a lie for the Corruptor. The Bomber love is so forth. Yeah. I don't know if Bomber doesn't even have the it's not like one of the top tier soundtracks of Wolvesville, right? Core is S tier, okay. Corruptor is the most average solo killer. I think when I think of average, I would say for me that goes something like Blight or Evil Detective. That's what will pop up in my head then. Although Evil Detective is maybe a bit weak for the solo killers. Corruptor might be, yeah, Corruptor Illu might be pretty average. Arsa's OST is number 1. Yeah, I put it in the, I used it in the Nintendo Switch 2 trailer for Wolvesville as well. Last time for the Steam trailer I did SK theme, and now I put the Arsa theme there. A tier strength, S tier fun. Corruptor is fun, yeah. Alright. I'm gonna make the poll right now already. I have not seen a single person arguing that this role has to... I think it's mostly A and B. We'll see what the poll says. Where it goes. Corruptor. I've not seen a single person arguing it should be S tier. Or not top 10 tier, I mean. I will put the S tier there, but I don't think it's gonna win. I think it's B or A. That's where you guys will put it, I suppose. But we'll see. It's such a nice niche interaction, and you need werewolves anyway to win. For what? Yeah, I say Core has like one of the things when I made my own top 10 list is one thing I was so sure about from the get-go was Core and Illu are gonna be back to back. That's like, they're so similar still. Like, I'm gonna make the Illu probably higher, but it's not much. And they are gonna be in the same tier if I would make a tier list. Guys, what did you vote for? Let's see. Oh, you wanna, like, there's a, I can't say the, I don't know if I can say the percentages, I don't know if that's fair. The percentage is still, the gap is pretty big still, favoring the B tier. Sect leader and Illu aren't on the same tier, Sect is better. Like at the end we can also decide the order, by the way, but then we'll just run through the tiers quickly with polls. Corruptor is like the baseline for how... Yeah, I agree. With red nether brick. Especially, especially now with roll cards and with random killers sometimes in games, you actually need a baseline strength, because you don't want to have like games that's just in general how balancing works in my opinion, and why roll cards are somewhat problematic, is you don't want to have a possible game in which the solo killer is so much stronger than in another game that the balance is gonna completely shift. Although I guess it also does make people more flexible, but you don't want to have it at the point that it's like unwinnable for the other team. In low... Yeah, I've actually done it too. If you make it to the end game and you actually have a solid claim, people don't know you're a corruptor yet. At some point, I just say nothing and I pretend to be corrupted, so that people think that I might be the good guy being corrupted, and then they still don't know who is the real one. That's a valid strategy. Hello, Emily. How are you? I would say Poppy go pop. B tier is like B tier is like exactly the average, I would say. I'm going to put it here, but in the end, as I said, we will probably put we'll just order the tiers within as well. So I assume that eventually the Siren is gonna be below corruptor, but for now we'll put it here. We only have 7 rolls. We are halfway done with the tier list now. Alright, next roll. Kenny. Now we are... This is also interesting. I don't think this is going to be a not top 10 roll, so I already know we're going to have an SABC to pull, but still curious to see what you guys think of Cannibal. I think what you guys put it is B or A, but I'm not sure. High C, okay. Maybe even C tier then. I definitely put it over Evil Detective, as I said earlier. There's definitely different opinions here on the Cannibal. So, Relo, about Evil Detective being in not top 10. If there's no 4 rolls at the end of this tier list in the not top 10, I will just move one of the C tier rolls there. And if there's multiple rolls in the C tier and there's only like limited spots in the not top 10, then we will do a poll for which roll has to go to the not top 10. And yeah, the not top 10, normally I would not have this rigid of a tier down there. But I just purely do it because the video next week is going to be top 10, so I can compare then. You hate me? Yeah, that's something, I hate that too, but that's with any role pretty much. Also with Arso, that's really annoying. Yeah, it's about who wins the most matches. That's true, the Dustwalker. That's the criteria here for... That's the criteria for strength and how we rate the roles. Out of here, not including converters, I've won as Arso the most. So Arso is one of my lower ones, actually. Cannibal is one of my higher ones. It's like, I had a 33% win rate with Cannibal, but I only like based off what? 12 games ever? So it's not like that impressive. But still, I mean, 4 wins with 12 games, that's not too bad. Okay. I don't even think we are gonna have to put an S or not top 10 in this poll. We can just have ABC. What tier for Cannibal? Give it up for Cannibal. A, B, C. It's the alphabet! Yay. Biased with which role he has won a lot. You mean you think that the roles that I win with a lot are that make sense? Alright, let's see what this role. So far it's the B tier, but that's 12 votes. I think it's gonna be a B tier still though. Like most people say low B or high C, and then there's like people saying high B or low A. So it's probably gonna land on B, but let's see. It's A tier definitely got a lot more votes than C tier, so it's more like towards the stronger end of things. Alright. Let's put it in the B tier. I think that's pretty safe. Next roll. Okay, this one is the... this is definitely one of the easiest we have to do today. The bomber. I don't think there's much arguing that it's gonna be here, but I'm still gonna make a poll for it, of course. Like maybe some of you think it's a C or B tier roll or something, or S tier, whatever. But bomber is next, and I'm just gonna put it here a bit. Bomber is ass, but then with an A as well. Bomber isn't that bad. 5-0 show, where would you put the bomber? Considering there have to be 4 roles in the bottom tier, would you put it like... I'm curious to see for 5-0 show, are there like 4 solo killers that you would say are weaker than the bomber? I'm curious. In your opinion, B tier. I'm curious to see where... Like from my win rate perspective, it's not like that bad actually. Like 25% in modern age and like what 14% in the legacy stats for me. 4 wins, 27 games. That's how my stats look like for bomber. You've never won as bomber. Oh. I've never won as Elu, and I have won like 4 times in total with bomber now. And recently, I don't know, you might suspect this, but I'm collecting solo footage right now. In my free time sometimes. And I won one of the solo games so far, that was with SK. And the only one in which I was actually remotely close was with the bomber. So, yeah. Like, I don't know, or did maybe I also won as bandit, but I'm not sure. Yeah, I should have won as bandit, because otherwise, yeah, I've definitely won as bandit too, but forgot about that one. Hello, Kemal Or, how are you doing? Oh, you're already, I just missed your comments earlier. Bomber is only stronger than SK. This should be rated on the under not top 10 tier. Okay, we're gonna... Zombie is A tier. Wow, that's a hot take already. For your first comment is a hot take, fire triangle. Alright, let me make a tier list, or a tier list. Let me make a poll. Oh. Let me just make a full spectrum of possibilities. I suspect it's gonna be the not top 10, but let's make A as the highest. I'm not gonna add the S tier because nobody has argued that. There you go. This is for the bomber. Let's see. Okay, there's 100%. Oh, not 100%. What Trudy said is the developers are the developers are allergic to solving most roles. Actually, but Bomber is like kind of a sad case. Like it has been like this pretty much since the beginning. It actually used to be weaker. I will tell you that it used to be weaker. I don't know if anyone was around in 2018. You can let me know why it was weaker. Otherwise, I will just say. But it used to be weaker. And that's such. At least they dared to fix that. But it used to be weaker. But now it's still kind of too weak, especially when you compare it with Alchemist. The person who voted A is the GOAT. That's you. Shorty, that's you. 5-0 show. Otherwise you don't say that, right? Or is it a joke? You don't know why. Okay, so initially when the bomber was introduced, the werewolves could kill it. That's how weak it was. That's crazy. Okay, it's clear that it's gonna be in the not top 10 tier. That's just like, I'm gonna put it on the right because I don't think it's gonna be the, yeah, well, we'll do it later anyways, but like, I can't imagine how weak that was. I have played with that as well. The double kill is used as 85% of the time and helps village in 5%. Yeah, the double kill for the evil detective is like only, it's useful end game to yeah, end game actually then. Or if the village sucks so badly that you have to kill werewolves early, then you can still kill villagers and werewolves. I don't think Evil Detective is so much weaker than a bomber, but it's not that strong. But we will see later. Alright, next roll. I'm not gonna say anything about the Guardians. I don't think that either of the devs or Guardians are dumb, but I think the devs are really reluctant to change roles. I know why, because yeah, there's people who are gonna dislike it, but there's also people who dislike it now, so I don't think that really holds up anyways. It's mostly role family changes are difficult because of role cards, and people have like certain role cards, icons and whatnot. But yeah, I don't think that should be like secondary priority to actually making the game balanced, you know? Yeah, werewolves could kill Bomber in 2018, yes. That was like, it was only there for a few weeks, I believe, but like the fact that President used to be in Sandbox only for a few weeks as well, and then it was like never to be seen again, but we are not buffing Serial Killer because he is the base of solo killers. The devs mean they remove SK from setups and make it custom exclusive. Yeah, exactly. I understand why they don't want to change the SK, because it is easy to understand. But make it like Villager then, and maybe also do that for the Seer. But then you need another role for Analyst as well, because Analyst is too strong for Aura Seer 3, for Detective 3 and everything like that. But yeah. Alright, we're going to the Blight now. You guys get to say something about the Blight. Official blight hater here. Blight is... I have played with blight like recently for the first times, but I still don't really have a good grasp on this role. I've not seen like full potential of this role yet. Where of Bessie used to be good aura when it was out due to a bug. I don't remember that, but yeah. I might have remembered it, because I was still active in 2020 when it released, but yeah, for some reason I don't remember that particular thing. But yeah, Sect Leader has also had different states throughout history. For example, that it could sect solo killers for a long time, actually. That's something that they kept for quite a while, I believe. And of course, I think a lot of you might remember Sect Leader not being able to sacrifice players, but maybe newer players don't know that. Do what Riddle says. Will suggest creating a should be removed tier, especially for blight. Wow, the opinions are really divided here. Poppy Go, why do you think it's an S tier? Like, I have to see if this is actually serious or not. Because they can infect people slowly, prevent checking, can hide. It does have strengths, I suppose. But I need to know if I should seriously consider putting the S tier in the poll. Because, to be quite frank, I still don't really have a full idea of this role. Like, how strong it can get. Like, I have to see that with my own eyes someday. I know what it is, but... Like, I don't know if it's stronger than Illu, because it doesn't hide rolls, so... People who die by blight are still revivable, and... Yeah. Okay, no shot. I think we'll just make a poll with A. A to not top 10. I don't think anyone really mentioned not top 10, but we'll see. Let's see what we're gonna see. There's some people who don't like the blight. Yeah, blight is the one I'm most neutral to. Because seriously, simply because I don't have the experience. You have a hard time deciding where the... That's so hard to compare as well, though. If blight not top 10... we can make Bomber C. In theory, if there's gonna be another role in the not top 10 tier, one of the roles from the not top 10 tier has to move up, I suppose. You voted wrong, oof. I don't know what you wanted to vote, but it seems like it's not gonna make a big difference because the C tier is definitely winning. The strongest for less. It kind of happens to be like that. Yeah, I guess. Like, I didn't do that intentionally, but I guess it's because of alphabet, and then I select the zombie first, so then it drags the zombie in as first. Yeah, because I scroll down in my alphabetically ordered folder with all the role icons, then I start with an A and I end up with the Z, and the zombie is the last role. In the alphabet in Wolvesville in total. And then since that's where I then drag it into OBS, and then zombie is gonna be like the lowest layer in OBS, and the Siren in this case was the highest layer. Will you do wolf tier list like this anytime soon? I think I will do that one day. But there's a good chance it's gonna happen after the setup got finished. So it's gonna be like in the summer somewhere. But we will do that, yeah. Will you put this exact list for video? I'm gonna compare my own top 10 with this, I suppose. But it's not gonna get its own dedicated video. Like, I'm sure that I think most people are gonna agree more with this list still than my list, but we'll see. Alright, C tier I think it is. Will Phil tier list come too? Yeah, that will be also then in the summer or maybe after. We'll do C tier for the blight. I'm gonna get some water and you can start discussing the next role, which is bandit. Alright, bandit time. You can put the bandit somewhere. Alright, what we're getting here. Conversion plus skill is good, exactly. Bandit is a B the moment there's accomplice in the bandit. Yeah, but that also goes for every solo killer with other members, like Sect leader and zombies. Welcome back, Milan. Welcome back. I'm gonna turn on the camera as soon as I have my tea, by the way. Just keep in mind, I've once won as bandit in 2020. Wait, only once you mean? Or I've once won bandit with no... Oh, with no accomplice. Oh boy, that's kind of impressive, honestly. Like, you can basically only kill werewolves or be passive then. I don't know, did you do that intentionally? That's crazy. You can convert the highest level. Yeah, but we're really talking about potential mostly. Like, go base it off... Well, I don't know. That's actually kind of subjective. Whether you want to base it off like average chance to win or like the best conditions and then see how much chance you have to win. Like, that's something I never really thought of including as a rule per se. But it's really the subjective part of this, I suppose. See you later, Milan. Bandit can go anywhere, that's why it's B or A is the best. I'm curious to see though. Like, I don't... If you are gonna include Bandit on the B tier, I think nothing goes S tier in that case. Like, actually nothing. Yeah, zombies when there's like... no strong werewolves, and there's a lot of convertible villagers, but yeah. Oh yeah, XP is something I don't think they do that. They have not done the -20, -25 XP per convert. That's what they should do, but I don't think they have done that, right? I've never heard of it, at least. I don't count in XP at all. It's just like the chance to win. Like, even if it's not satisfying, just pure chance to win. Alright, I'm getting my tea real quick. I will... Oh, the Arso is gonna be divisive, honestly. Okay, we'll do the bandit now, the bull. And there I am. ED might not be the best, but it sure has the best theme song. I don't know the Evil Detective theme song, actually. I know, what is the I don't want to be too negative, but what, in your opinion, is the worst theme song of, like, solos? And, like, or actually would say custom, but, like, you have the... I'm not gonna count the regular Werewolf themes, the theme song, or the Village theme song, but just, like, any solo, and you have, like, I think, Headhunter, Fool, and Jailer have own theme songs, right? The Poppy Go Pop makes the same argument actually as what I used to do in the past for the Alpha Werewolf. Like, if you make it out of experience, the Alpha Werewolf has this kind of stereotype of being dumb. I don't know. Like, I have experienced that too. In a stream as well. I remember that pretty well. But it's not the fault of the role, really. Well, to some extent, I guess, because it allows people to shine when they are dumb. And let dumbness shine, but we are talking about potential strength. Like, actually, like, a good scenario. Bandit is kind of broken. Oh, I had this game. Someone actually tagged me in the Wolvesville Discord recently, in the strategy section. I had this game in which someone was just Bandit, and they sold their accomplices all the time, and they just go at the end. They were like, I was like Storm Werewolf, I was Grave Robber Storm Werewolf. There were like 5 werewolves in the end, or yeah, we lost, but and there were like 5 and there were like 5 accomplices plus Bandit in total. So there was like 10, and one of the accomplices was the voting role. So in total, there were, at the end of the game, 10 people on an evil team, and only 6 people were true villagers. That's so... Like, if you convert that many players, man... Who put Kenny in a B? He's at least A, if not S. Yeah. For Cannibal, it was like, there was like a camp saying high C or low B, and there was a camp saying high B, low A. So it ended up being in the B tier. We are gonna do some changes later, if really needed. Okay, Bandit is an S tier though. We're gonna put it in the S tier. I would say I definitely agree with this. This is one role that has a good chance to be the number one in my video too. Alright, we have 3 roles left. The next one is Arso. This is the one I've seen the most split opinions on in this chat so far, because oh boy, there's people saying S or A, and then there's also like in the bottom. Okay, the first thing I see is Michael Scholes in Arso's S. S tier, please don't attack me. Strategy shouldn't be bannable. You should be able to play however you like. Game throwing is intentionally losing. Yeah, that's the difference between game throwing and just risky strategies. That's also where the argument. That's also kind of the argument around selling teammates as werewolf. Like, it's a risky strategy. If it works out, it works out. But some people really consider it as throwing. Like, why do you sell me? Or like, why do you want to lose us? But that's really, I think it doesn't happen too much in Sandbox. At least I don't sell, or I use a werewolf in. If I sell, I try to do it like either with permission, or I say like, okay, he is one out of this amount of suspects, you know. If I claim Sheriff or Morty. I like the fact how theoretically you can douse both info and protection can stop you. Yeah, that's with the Arso. Arso is such a... Also, it's not as bad as Bomber in that regard, but it's such an RNG role. If you douse Night 1, you're just gonna have... you can have like terrible rolls on fire, and you cannot undo that either. At least they made the change that coupled players are not, that they at least cancel gasoline on couples now, but otherwise it was like definitely still pretty poor design. I'm not gonna say, like, those are the kind of exceptions that I don't try to include too much in how strong this role is, but if it's like, if there's too many exceptions for really weak scenarios or like really bad luck, then I will have to consider it, of course. Kenny is better than Arso. Kenny has control over who he kills. Yeah, that's true. Arso has more kills, but Kenny is... But Kenny cannot bypass, though. You still think Arso's S tier. Poppy go pop. But all killer kill on last night, except Arso, and all advanced roll Alchemist on middle day. I don't know why they can kill on middle night. Yeah. Oh yeah, if werewolves sell werewolves in insti games, that is probably an instigated werewolf, yeah. Especially in Sandbox. The satisfaction, yeah, but how often are you really gonna douse the whole thing? And there's also a really high chance of douse players dying. That's why I think there's such a debate around how strong the Arso is. Really good Arsonist can be so strong. They are definitely S tier, but I think there's also like really hard to be a really good Arsonist player. And yeah, if we are going off like pure strength, I would also say S tier, but... Or like pure possibilities, but... You also have to account some sort of realism. And when Poppy Go Pop came with the Bandit Accomplice thing, I think the chance of getting a shitty Accomplice as Bandit is arguably a lot lower than the chance to get a hard time as Arso. Alright. Did the chat stop? I don't... for me the chat did not stop. No, the chat didn't stop. Right? Or did the stream crash for a second? I don't know. Alright, I'm gonna make a poll. Belongs to... Oh, belongs to what tier? I will include... I'm not gonna include the not top 10 tier though, but if we have to put it in the top 10, then you guys vote for the C tier anyways, and then we'll probably have to include it later. Do we have to do another poll later for the C tier? Alright. It was bugged for me, okay. Like, I'm actually so curious. Okay, I thought the opinions were a bit more split than this. But actually it goes to the S tier, it seems like. This smells bias. I don't know. Why would people be biased towards an arsonist role though? Maybe the music? Yeah, I don't think, but SL might be a role that we are gonna have to Elu, and the A tier as a whole is probably something we have to look back on, and the B tier too. We're gonna order the tiers anyways later on. When you used to play this game, Arso was the easiest actual solo killer. So for my win rate, Arso, I know that I've had this drought when it comes to arsonist of not winning my games. And then at some point, that was like in the ranked days, 2019. And at some point I got like 3 Arso wins in relatively short time in ranked. And all in different ways. I think all of them have episodes too, but I'm not sure. SL needs to move to S tier. I think that might happen. Yeah, we'll see about that though. And Elu might move down to B. We'll see. But yeah, that's just how it goes with tier list making. In the beginning, it's hard to place it because you don't have reference. You don't know what other roles are gonna be where. But now we know, like, okay, it kind of looks silly that Siren is maybe on the same tier as Cannibal or Corruptor, or Elu is so much higher than Corruptor, or Sect Leader is on the same tier as Elu. That kind of looks silly. Maybe you guys do agree with that. I don't know, but it does definitely seem like the Arso is going to go to the S tier. Don't know where the poll is not showing up. I did close the poll. Okay, there it is. Alright. That's Arso. Now we have 2 roles left. I think they are gonna be pretty high too, honestly. Looking at what chat has said. Alchemist is coming up next. Alchemists. I think this one might be a bit easier. These viewers are Delulu. What's Delulu? Your internet's getting better, nice. Arso is anything but S tier. Yeah, I'm curious. I don't know how 50% voted S tier either, but yeah. Delusional. Oh yeah, delusional, yeah. Sect tier in the A tier, I don't know, people just voted that early on. Like, that was one of the more questionable ones for me as well, but Alchemist hard A. But I don't know, did you also vote Arso to be an S tier then? I'm curious. Like, I can't see an argument almost for Alchemist being weaker than Arso. Just know, Arso is not gonna be top 3 roll for my tier, for my top 10. Just know that. Oh no, I remember that Alchemist, I don't know what it was exactly, but I do remember that it was actually really weak initially, yeah. I don't know what it was. Oh yeah, the red potion. Yeah, the red potion was purely yeah, that was it. The red potion was purely there to deceive villagers, to think like, oh no, yeah, put them in panic mode. Actually, I kind of forgot that, but that's true. Okay, I am gonna include the B option, but I feel like it's S or A, according to you guys. Alchemist in tier S, A, B. I love the Alchemist, yeah. Vote S or I will find you. Oh man. A is the biggest. Oh, it's tied, actually. We need more votes. I cannot believe what I'm seeing here either, Amistoso. Alchemist 50% for A tier and 39% for S tier. Only voting S because I'm on thin ice at this point. Yeah. Well, it's gonna be A tier, I think. There you go, A tier. You guys are gonna get my takes on all of this exactly, like in more detail in the top 10 video. Alright, let's roll. This should be relatively easy, I think. Zombie. Yeah, there is people who don't talk and actually have opinions too. Yeah, that's true. I just hope it's not someone with alts, but maybe I should not have said that. I don't know. Now, F tier is like, no way you're gonna put in F tier though. Like, F tier roll design wise. Yeah, but not like, or fun wise. But strength wise, it's not F tier for sure. I have to say, Zombie is weaker than it used to be. Considerably weaker. We'll do the poll right away. Let's go. Players who rate F maybe hate the spread of him. Yeah, like, roll, that's why I said roll design wise it's maybe an F tier roll, because it's just an annoying role to play against, but we are just talking strength wise, and then I can only see it on S tier. Maybe not the highest one anymore, but it still has to be S tier for me. And I think you guys in the chat agree, because if I look at the poll, it actually says S is gonna win. You think zombies conversion should happen faster, but they should also decay faster? Yeah! Bitter Night 1, Zombie at Night 2 beginnings. And dies at Night 3's beginning. So you only get like one... Yeah, you only get to one person to convert. You mean then, as zombie. As like a non-original zombie. Should make a tier list based on strength and fun solo killing rolls, for his opinion. I don't know, I've done it last year, I think, as well. Or was it 2 years ago? I already forgot. I don't have an intention to do that anytime soon, a whole tier list. Because I also, there were quite a lot of criticisms on like the way I did it. That's why I do it purely on strength today as well. Even though it's not my opinion that we're basing this off, but... yeah, I can end the poll. It's a pretty easy S tier for zombie. Alright, so this is initially how the tier list looks like, but we might make some changes, depending on what you guys think should happen. So, okay, if there's one thing you guys can change about this tier list, I know there's gonna be a lot of things that you guys are gonna throw, but I'm just seeing if there's like some sort of consensus about what definitely needs to change. What would you change about this tier list? If there's only one thing. Alchemist S tier, Arso on B. Sect S tier, Arso on A, B. ED needs to be not top 10. ED might go there because we still have to add a roll there, so. And changing bomber. Oh yeah, you want to you want to have the bomber higher. How is the? Yeah, that's crazy. I know, Dama. Switch Siren and Sect. Whoa, that's a crazy take, honestly. Bomber should be in B. That's too high though. Siren C tier. I don't see some rolls I don't see, so then we can just keep them for sure. What I will do first is, let's start with adding a roll to the not top 10. I'm gonna make a poll for you guys right now. Which roll to add to the bottom? It's between Evil Detective and Blight. Oh. Okay, you guys get to pick the role that has to go to the not top 10 tier. I know there's gonna be... I know in opinion there is a big difference. There is a big difference between the 3 roles that are already there and the 1 role that will be added to there. So I guess I could move them a bit to signify the difference. Oh yeah, I have to move it further, I suppose. Well, this is fine, I suppose. Oh yeah, and you think 5 or so that Evil Detective and Blight have to be lower. Okay, I'd say it's pretty clear down that Evil Detective is gonna move up, down, I mean. I moved them because there's gonna be an extra role in the bottom tier. And that is apparently evil detective. So I want to run a few polls based off what you guys say in the chat. Let me put this here. Okay, first thing I want to see is if the Siren is on the right spot. I think nobody is gonna argue that it should be higher. Okay, let's see what we get here. I don't know if I steer too much. If I say like it's either B tier or it should be low or it should be on the C tier, but you guys, if you want to let it stick to the B tier, we'll keep it on the B tier. Kenny's alright in B tier. I think Cannibal was good too, actually. Yeah, I'd agree with Reload there. Kenny could be A, but I think B also works. It should not be in the same tier though as the Siren, I think, but yeah, maybe it's gonna stay like that. I think, yeah, there's a pretty big majority saying that it should be B tier, so... Alright, now I think we're gonna... I'm thinking of running 3 polls still. Yeah, okay, we'll do the Sect leader first. I was thinking about Arso and Alchemist, and then also Sect leader and Elu, but we'll do Sect leader first. And I will include the B tier as well. I'm not going to include any lower option than B, because that's just not necessary, I may assume. We are trying to switch Arso. Yeah, some of you guys. I'm gonna give it an option, but I will give it a poll. But I assume that most people here are gonna vote Arso still to be on top of Alchemist. Arso is so much weaker than Alchemist. I agree, but yeah. I know why your vote disappeared. Oh my god, it's actually... No, it's not 50-50, of course. Okay. It seems like there is a 50% majority on saying it should move up. And then 39% says it should be it should stay, and then there's a low percentage which says it should move down. I think that's pretty safe to say we're gonna move the Sect leader up. Now let's go for the Illusionist. Let's do Illusionist first. I'm not gonna put C as an option. We'll just do A, B for the Illu. Oh no, don't give me 50-50. Okay. Misclick, oof. Its strength, yes. I would say Illu is stronger than Core, But I don't think it's so much difference that it should be on different tiers. That's my take. I'd say both being on B tier would make sense. Welcome back, Milan. I think that both being B tier would make the most sense, but that's just my take. And I'm only one person here, so... We should make an all-random version of this tier list. You mean like ranking random rolls, you mean? Oh no, never mind. Oh, I get what you mean. Like these rolls, ranking these rolls, but then purely based off how they would be as if they were appearing in all random. Because yeah, then you get like different things. Then you get like... Well, Elu would be a lot higher, I suppose. Or a lot. Not much higher. Like S tier at most. And then you get like some... Then you get like rolls that can save up kills. They would be really high. Like Kenny, Elu, Arso. And rolls like Siren, Serial Killer. Well, they're already weak. Alchemist would be weaker too, I suppose. In contrast to some rolls there. You should add a specific tier between A and B to put Elu in. I think we can also put it in the same tier, but then just move it more to the left, because that's also a way to show it's stronger. We still have to order the tiers, by the way, but we'll do a quick round through that. Either way, Elu is gonna stay in A. Now the next one is... Do we swap Arso and LK, and then yes, no, keep, I almost typed keep theme, both A, both, I can also do both S, both A, let's do that. SL would suck in all random. Maybe. Depending, like, on what the randoms are, of course. The draw of the setup cup is... I'm gonna, like... What we do all the time. We're gonna continue with the setup cup in 2 weeks. And I will draw the tickets now. And see which setup is gonna face which setup in the next round. I can also, from this result of the poll, I can also keep in mind that like if we say swap, that means that the people who say yes say that Alchemist should be S, Arsa should be A. But there's also people who say both A or both C, S, so we can also keep that in mind. So for Arso, there's... let me see. There's... 68% of the people think that Arso should be at least in the A tier. Yeah, 68% should say that it should be in the A tier, so... We're gonna move down to Arso in that case. Too bad for the Arso lovers, I guess. But yeah. I will put it high A tier though. For you. And then, I will close the poll, by the way. Then we have what? When it comes to Alchemist, 6% say that Alchemist should be in the S tier. And 56 say that they should be swapped. So 62% say that Alchemist should be S tier. That's also a majority. Alright. There we go. I will put it like here, I guess. There you go. Why did it not let me move it? So I do feel like this is gonna be more of a permanent tier list here. Yeah, people in the chat, I'll elaborate why Alchemist should be on S tier because Poppy doesn't understand. So one thing I can say about one thing I would say about the Alchemist being arguably a lot stronger than Arso is the Arso kill rate is slightly higher on the long term, but very long term. But both can actually make an army of players they want to kill at some point. Because what you can do as Alchemist, you're not forced to give 2 red potions consecutively to the same player. What I sometimes like to do is I give red potions to different players every day. And black ones, yeah, just kill. And then later on I hand them out the second red potion when I think the time is right for them. That's a strategy that comes with, and that's more flexible than Arson is, because as Arso, if you douse someone and you want to kill, they have to be killed, even if it's not really beneficial to kill them at that point. The Arso has to kill because you cannot unignite or undouse, I guess. Kenny on A. I don't know, should we run a poll for that, really? Let's see. Evil detective is situational, yeah. It's really, but I'm assuming 4 werewolves, 1 voting roll, and 1 killer. That is then the evil detective in that case. Insta kills. It doesn't insta kill. The Alchemist doesn't insta kill. It has quicker kills than Arso, for sure. Like, if you want to get rid of someone early, the Alchemist can do that better than Arso, but it's not like SK that you kill at night. How is Bomber? Yeah, bro, 5-0 show keeps pushing Bomber. Alright, we're gonna finish up this tier list. I think there's only one. Is there anyone who would like to see a poll for the Cannibal being moved up or down? I guess, because I think only Maestosa wants Cannibal to be A tier. You want the Cannibal to move up, Poppy go pop, or down? I don't know, but you want Cunny up. Okay, maybe we should make a Cannibal tier a poll then. Alright, Cannibal up or stay. We're not gonna put it in the S tier, I guess, but we'll do A, B. Okay. Broski Doski, we are basing this purely off strength, so not like fun, because if it's fun then zombie would be F tier too, but yeah, for me at least, but we're just going off like how good is the chance to win as this role, and then it yeah, it has to be S tier in my opinion. $50, yeah, oh nah, it's round 50-50 I saw. You think Core is better than Kenny? In that case, maybe we have to pull Core too, I guess, but we'll do a poll for the Core as well, but then it's over. We'll just run through these polls a bit quicker. Okay, it seems like Cannibal is gonna stay though. You're number 1 Bomber Glazer. Add game throwing gunner, nah. Welcome, Dan. Read my comments. Oh, oops, that was a voice crack. Where did you put a... I don't see your messages. Where's your message? Did you send any message yet? I'm not gonna think of that, broski. No. Let's... Oh, Insti, I'm not gonna include Insti in this tier list, sorry. I might put it in a different tier list someday, but... Alright, let's do one final poll. Or final, I don't know. We don't have a... It's not final because we still need to order the tier list, but that's gonna be a bit easier. Core in A tier or stay B. We'll do the corruptor and then it's good. In terms of which role in which tier, and then we're gonna order the tiers quickly. Yeah, Norge, I know you meant Instigator, but Instigator in ranked, I would say in ranked, in a ranked community, Instigator is considered an RK, and I get why, but I'm just going off official RK. Yeah, so if I'm gonna, we can do like team changes, although they, and maybe voting rules, although it's a bit hard to compare those. Bro, Broski, don't post these questions here, please. That's not like my channel is not for that. I don't say it's impossible to steal the claims, Velos. It's like you just have to be good at reading the game. Like, for example, the night 1 kill. Just try to, as soon as you have to just try to, okay, what rules claimed and what rules not claimed, and then what rules. And it's really just it's really game reading actually. Okay, also the poll is pretty no, not unanimous, but pretty clearly it's gonna be a B tier. Alright. The red lady was eaten by the wolf, yeah. It's a fairy tale. I agree with you, Poppy Go Pop. They could be good roles for quick games still. Yeah. And send it in the hyperhood. Yeah, you could do that totally. I forgive you, but just you send them like every week, so don't do it again. Alright, let's order the tiers. So how this is gonna work is like this. I'm just gonna rank the roles, like, well, rank, I don't know, that's maybe not. Order the roles. So, for not top 10 tier. So what I'm gonna do is, now actually I should phrase this differently. Strongest role. Okay, I think this is gonna make sense. Evil detective, shapeshifter. What we're gonna do is we're gonna order the tiers quickly with some polls. There's not much time that we need here to elaborate too much, I suppose. Alright, so you guys get a poll here. Listen up. I'm gonna go off the percentages. So the role that has the highest percentage is gonna be the most left role, so the strongest one. the one with the least votes is the weakest role. So if you think, okay, Evil Detective, or yeah, I assume Evil Detective is gonna be the strongest role for you. If you think, okay, Evil Detective is gonna get its vote and you wanna have a particular say about Shapeshifter, SK, Bomber, then give those roles the vote that you think should be more to the left. I don't know, I hope that makes sense. Like, you can put the accent with your vote. We do need a vote for every role though, or not for every role, but at least for 3 roles we do need different results. And currently there's nobody who voted. Okay, there's finally someone who voted Shapeshifter. Let's go. Alright. I will let this run for a minute and then we have results and then we can order them from left to right. And left is strongest, right is weakest. And then we actually have an actual list. Don't vote Bomber for fuck's sake, yeah. You don't like how this system works. Yeah, you can't see it maybe, that's the problem. Most will vote Evil Detective. Yeah, but that's fair. Like, people who don't think Evil Detective needs a vote, but want to have an accent between SK, Shapeshifter, Bomber, can just vote. Can cast a vote there. That's really the only way how we can do this, otherwise we are gonna sit here for hours. Alright. Let me quickly be able to move these roles. SK, Bomber, and Evil Detective. Actually, Evil Detective doesn't have to be moved for sure. Alright. We'll end the poll here. Yeah, you can't change the... Oh yeah, that makes sense, I guess. I don't know, I cannot change that system, unfortunately. Because I can't make it, like, visible to you, I guess. Alright, this is the list here. What has Broski said now? I'm gonna ban him. Yeah, I'm gonna ban you, Broski, sorry, but you are only sending annoying messages, honestly. Okay, he's banned now. He has also done it like in previous streams too. Alright, so... Okay, what do we have here? So, Evil Detective on the left. Bomber is the second strongest, according to you. And then we have Circular as the bottom. And Shapeshifter as third in this tier. That's for the CT we don't need to do this because there's only the blight there. That's gonna make it a bit easier. Okay. That's not really a good way, but yeah, you can suggest someone else up though, but I'm not gonna make a poll for every placement. That's not gonna happen. But if you have a different solution, let me know. Because I think otherwise it's gonna take too long. We can go for the B tier now, but I'm curious to see if there is a better solution. You want to keep it as it is? Oh, the way we do this, yeah. Like, I think that's just the fairest way. Like, it's a bit of a gamble. Yeah, but that's what I mean, Dama, for every role. Because that's gonna... If we're gonna do that for Bomber, Shapeshifter, SK, we are gonna have to... we're gonna have to... Then, okay, maybe the SK wins, or the Shapeshifter wins. Probably the Shapeshifter wins that. And then we have to do it again for the SK and the Bomber. But then you get like a poll for every role, which is which is tedious, and that takes a bit too much time, in my opinion. No, Big Bad Doom, you are gonna be banned as well. Yeah, we'll do the same way as now. And I guess you need to make a bit of a prediction then, I guess, what the people are gonna do. It's kind of weird, I know, but yeah. That's also how IRL voting, I guess, works to some extent. Alright. Now, the poll. I banned someone. I don't know. I don't even want to give it attention. Wait, now I think of it, like, if there's, with 4 roles that's not even possible, but 3 roles it is possible to just make orders and then you get to vote for an order. Maybe that's how we can treat it with, like, if there's, like, we can treat that with the B tier like that. What you guys suggest me here in the chat. Simon Core. Or, no, I'm crazy. No, that's not actually possible. I thought, like, for some reason that was possible. Or is it? We have 4 slots. We have 4 options in the poll. Okay, you guys get to choose pick the strongest role for the B tier here. Cannibal, Corruptor, Siren. These are the options. Yeah, I'm gonna. Sorry, if you're gonna ask for attention in dumb ways, I'm gonna ban you as well. We're gonna do the setup cup after this. What's my favorite role? Avenger. But I rarely get to play as it, of course, because it doesn't really appear in setups. Okay, I could show the votes, I guess. Yeah, if you guys wait with voting. Wait, let me think of how I should approach that. I should be able to... Where can I... There was an option, I know. Where is that option again? You know what? Let me add a source real quick. That is then... Oh, I can't... Huh? No, I need to do a different capture, I guess. I'm gonna try to fix that, guys, for you. It's not window capture, it is display capture. OBS poll. Let's just do that. No, that's not it either. I can't add... Why can I not add... Why can I not find what I need? OBS doesn't really appear in the list of options for some reason. That's dumb. I don't know if I can actually add that poll on the screen, but there should be a way. Hyper, what arcade do you think is strongest if they're insti? Maybe Sect leader. I think bandit is kind of weak in that case, actually. I'd say insti would be a good one. Or insti, what am I saying? Yeah, insti as insti, imagine. No, Sect leader could be... Siren is also good then. I think Arso could work too. Like, actually, most things. Even corruptor could work. Alright, let me replay the playlist. I don't know how to add the poll, actually. I know there was a possibility to do it. But... there should be a way for me to pop out the live chat. Wait, maybe it's on YouTube. Maybe it's on YouTube now I think of it. If I go... YouTube Studio... then have... content... live... I should be able to manage this stream. Yeah, feel live in control room. Is there like a way I can... yeah, pop out chat. That is what I need. Pop out chat. And now I can add this as a browser source, I think. Does this do anything? No. It doesn't really... oh, it does add it now. Wait, but it doesn't add the right thing. I can't, like, It doesn't, yeah, it doesn't really help, actually, at all. Okay. That's kind of unfortunate. So I don't think I can actually add the... I can not add the thing that I want to add here, then. Okay, we'll have to do it without that. So you guys get to vote. Currently, I just say, okay, Corruptor is first, Siren is second, pretty close, and Cannibal is low third. I cannot, yeah, I can type here, I guess, hi. There you go, I can say something. If you say that, and if you're gonna say that you're a band, in fact. Oh, also don't call me daddy, that's annoying. I'm not a daddy, I'm just saying. You like Kenny? Yeah. Okay, clicks is... that's not gonna happen. Let's do this, okay. I'm gonna close the poll. I can't really fix that, unfortunately, but it's what it is with this system of the poll. Stop hypnotizing. What do you mean? Okay. This is the order that we got here. Core, Siren, Kenny. So I only need to switch around Core and Siren. They are banned. Nadil. Also, what's this? I don't know. Whatever. Alright, so the Siren and the Corruptor have to move. Actually, let me just do that. Hey, Yoshi Island. If you saw what we said, but maybe you make some loyal viewers have admins so you don't have to deal with alt spamming. Okay, yeah, I actually do have admins, but they're never here, I think. That's old. Like, the admins I have are like old viewers. Oh. Hello, Mr. Savage. How many alts are we having in the chat right now? Actually, I'm going to add some mods, I think, after this stream. We'll do setup cup like, yeah, we'll do this right after. Alright, we have 2 more polls to go, and then, yeah, unfortunately, this is kind of the way it has to go. But just keep in mind, for me, the top 10, when I make the video, the order is gonna matter more than this tier list. For this, it's just like tier list is most important. Illusionist or Illu, what's stronger? Okay, the A tier is easy because it's just 2 rolls, so you get to just like pick whatever you think is stronger. You don't need to count. You don't have to calculate in what other rolls might be voted high. How many alts are there? Oh my god. Yeah, there's 2. Yeah, there's 1 or 2 people who just do this. It's kind of, it really is kind of gross, honestly. I don't know. People don't have anything better to do in their life than trolling, I guess. Alright, I'm curious to see Arso. Okay, it seems to be pretty clear. I think I would agree too, by the way. Arso better than Illu, but I would probably... I could put both on the B tier, honestly. Alright, anyone who has not voted yet, you can vote still, but not for long. They're annoying. Yeah, I assume, because you guys also try to read, you also try to respond to each other, and then there's the old message. Arso definitely better than all of him. I would say, like, how I would probably, if I were to make this tier list, I would probably put a bit more in the C tier. I would probably have Alchemist in A as the only A role, and then have, yeah, and then have Arso, Illu and Core definitely on the same tier for me. Illu and Core. I suppose I would do Illu Core. Illu Core would be probably low B, and then Arso and Kenny would be also in the B tier. And then Alchemist in A tier, and only the converters in the S tier for me. But that's how I would do it. I'm not gonna say too much. Alright, it's pretty clear though that the Arsos win, so we can keep this order. Now the hardest one is gonna be the S tier, and I think this is gonna be the spiciest one too, because there's actually not that much difference. Thank you for subscribing. Also, I can barely see that for some reason. Yeah, I don't know who that was, but thank you for subscribing. Wait, is there an alt again? Oh yeah. There's 2 again. Who is the 1%? Yeah, that's always the question. Okay, let me first make the poll, then I will deal with the trolls. Unfortunately, I cannot do IP bans, but yeah, it is what it is. I think it's really sad for these people because they got themselves banned with their main account here, and okay, either they don't really care, then fine. But sure. Okay, so for the people who are gonna vote still, Bandit has 40%, Zombie has 25%, Sect and Alchemist are tied for 17%. But I say if you vote for Alchemist or Sect leader, it's gonna be tied with the Zombie again. So, and if they stay tied, we will have to make a second poll, I guess, in that case. I also banned the other person. Okay. The draw of the setup is gonna happen soon. Should have included no recruit instigator. That could be an interesting one, to be fair. I still would say non-recruit instigator is actually the worst of this whole list if you are gonna assume Bomber and Shapeshifter and SK are in the right spots, because it's literally SK, but you can get killed by werewolves. So it's a solo killer, but if you have no recruits, it's like, okay, you're just weaker SK. Yeah, you hope they don't have ults, but these type of people always have so many ults. Alright. Okay, we're gonna make a new poll for the Sect leader Alchemist, but the other two are clear. This is the final poll of today, by the way. SL Alchemist. Bandit, Zombie. Okay, they're already in the right spots, actually. Zombie is better than Sect. Yeah, kind of situational, I suppose, but that's always the case. Wait, does have I thought they changed the aura of the Instigator to Ankh, but I'm not sure. Wait, I'm gonna check that. I still have the game open. They have aura descriptions now. Oh yeah, it has a good aura still. Yeah, okay, then no, then I take my words back, because that might actually change some stuff. For some reason I thought it had an unknown aura nowadays, but it's still good. They probably still need to change it then, but yeah. What do you want to ask, Pegabug? Don't send me an NSFW question, please. Can anyone join the setup cup? Not anymore, actually. Yeah, it's an alt, indeed. You guys were right. I thought it was, but I can never completely assume. Okay, Sect leader Alchemist. There's so many. How is there so many alts though? Like, how many accounts do you want? Okay, I have to say I have a lot of accounts too, but I don't use them as alts. They're just like I have accounts for different projects, you know. And most of my accounts are dead. I would never use them as alts to troll. That's like just lame. Alright, it's Sect Leader 1. So actually the order is correct how it was then. So this is the final tier list. People got nothing better to do. Yeah, they probably just, I don't know, I feel like that's same with bullies actually. These are the people who actually went through something bad but don't know how to cope with it correctly. So they do it back. That's also what happens. Most bullies are actually people who got bullied in the past. And I feel like people who do alts, like, I don't know, they're either just young or very young, just like trying to be annoying, or they're actually people who have serious problems, and then they should fix it, but not here. They seem, yeah. I'm definitely gonna give you. I'm definitely gonna assign a new mod, but it has to be someone who is also on my Discord server because I need someone who I can actually chat with as well. You should probably change your username. Yes. Hello, Slither.io. Okay. You're in your Discord. Yeah, I know. Alright. I think that's the tier list part of this. This is the part of the tier list. I'm going to do the setup control now. Let me... Oh, damn. I don't feel like breaking my audio again. Right. So yeah, I know that this is probably gonna be an NSFW agreement in quotation marks, which it's not. I know this person is gonna be ready for ban. So what I'm gonna do, like, this is something we did way back in, I don't know when was that, like early this year. We did this draw too, but then we had 32 setups. And now we're only having 16. So the 16 best setups according to, or most of the best setups, because some actually made it in with a lower rating than some from other groups with a higher rating. Let me go to, where is that? I can... what if I... My favorite Dutch twink. I don't know what that means, but okay. Okay, you are banned. They're back. They're so back. Right. I want premium custom games so badly, but so expensive, and people don't really play custom games anymore. Yeah, that's the hard. That's the. I think there's more people who would like to save up for premium custom games. I think with the gems, but it's so not guaranteed that you're gonna fill your lobbies, even if they're really fun. You know, that's the sad part of. That's the sad truth about custom games nowadays. Oh, someone actually has your... Oh, so they're going for the next level. How are there so many people with this alt? I don't think Alchemist has a song either. Alright, let me go switch scenes actually. Or let me... What's better? Excel. I'm gonna close the game, I suppose. Alright. You know what? I will promote Dama Gaming temporarily to moderator. Maybe he will stay. But Dama, you can deal with the... Wait, let me check. I can actually have 2 sorts of mods. We're not gonna play. No, no, no. I'm going to add a... We're gonna do the draw. Alright. Yeah, okay, I wanna have you as a standard mod. You want to do a custom game with 3 swamps? Oh, that's annoying. Okay, wait, if Dama Gaming says something, you can type... If you type, you should be a mod right now. Yeah, okay, Dama is mod now. Don't promote the wrong one. No, I don't. Hopefully. I'm not gonna promote anyone else, no. There's still 2 Milans, I think, or not. Or am I crazy? Or did he just change the name and nobody copied the name? No, I'm not gonna promote Milan. I know Milan is... Even the real Milan, he's too young for me to be a mod. There are 2 Milans to copy your also, oh my god. Well, as soon as someone makes a bad state... I know the real Milan is not gonna make an NSFW comment. And if he does, he can also get banned anyways. But, like, as soon as there's a suspicious comment, he's gonna get a ban. So... Wow. Alright. So what we're gonna do, we have 16 groups here. I wanna actually have this a bit bigger. Ho 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 ho. Transform. Oh, I can't transform when it's locked, of course. Hopefully Dama can actually deal with the trolls now. Alright. Let's make this like 50? Nah, not even. Yeah, okay, 50 can work, I guess. Alright. I think this should work, right? So here you see the setups that are in. Okay, it's the same person, yeah. Yeah, we have to ban someone. So, I will let Dama ban so that he knows how to do it, if he doesn't know it already. Alright, I'm gonna get some, I'm gonna draw something, and then this is the first setup. I don't know what color we're, I'm just gonna give this blue, red, green, yellow, I think, again. Alright, first setup that we have is lovers or teamers. I think this is a 25 player setup. This is actually the one that we played in the last setup. Oh yeah, this one, this is a 25 player setup. Alright, then we go here. Ho, 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 ho. This one is gonna be in... I will just put it right here for now. You can only hide or time it. Yeah, hide is the... that's the way you have to do it. You have to hide. Hiding is basically banning, yes. Hiding is what you need to do. I can't ban either, namely. There's not a... there is actually... I think there is a ban function, but I have to go deep into my settings. Which is annoying that it is like there, but yeah, we have to... It has to be... I guess it's something. Alright, next setup for this group is number 12. Which is called... Composure in the Face of Greed. This is an old one. As in... I feel... Okay, not that old, but I feel like this was one that we did like... way back. Yeah, hiding is what you need to do. Alright, next one is 29. No randoms. That's an old one, I think. Oh yeah, if there's something... If we draw a setup that's like been before, or in the same group, we'll redraw that one. Like, we're not gonna have two setups from the same group again in the same round. Okay, number 43, Humble Village. Where is that? Okay, that one is actually an old one. Apparently. An old one, I mean like one that we did in the beginning. Okay, group 2. So I don't know exactly what these setups were like, but this is gonna be the first... This is gonna be the 4 setups we are gonna do in 2 weeks. How to make this like game mode? What is that? So this is a tournament that we do in setup cups. In setup cups. This is a tournament that we do in custom games in most of the streams. And the setups were actually suggested or submitted, I should say, from by the people in the chat here, and also just people who watch the videos. But it has been like, it was like they were submitted like in November, I think, of last year. So it's been a while again. Okay, group 2. 58 is spreading infection. Okay, that's the second orange one. Yeah, your channel name is actually something... you cannot change the channel name to the same thing as someone else, so... The trolls, they cannot actually change it to exactly what Milan is called, which is, yeah, good. That's I think that's exactly why YouTube did it, but I'm not sure. It's also, it has to do with handles, I think. Right, next one, 27, Solo Madness. Kind of don't know what most of these setups were about exactly. I know some of them. I guess they were just more iconic then. Yeah, protect your identity. Yes, absolutely. Only 8 people. Yeah, I mean, this is maybe some people consider this a boring part. I don't know. It's also the end of the stream, anyways. 48. That is the domination of instigations. Which one is that? Oh, that's a green one. Okay, we have to retry. We have to redraw that at some point. We cannot do 2 greens in one group. You know what? I will just copy it to the next group as the first setup. You know, that's probably the best thing to do. So this 3, 4 is empty. There you go. That's probably the way. The 8 real fans, I guess. Yeah, plus trolls. You got copied as well. Well, I'm dealing with it. Yeah, you don't have to think about it. Yeah, thank you, Dama. That's also saving me some stuff. Okay, number 47. Hidden Lurkers. That's actually one I remember. That's one with the random slots and then plus Lurker. I do remember that setup. That's one of the ones that stood out to me. Number 19. Zombie Hunters from Purple. That's gonna be in May somewhere. Early May. There is a different Opto, actually. Low quality PFP Opto. Oh my god. Say number 3. What is number 3? Oh, Evil Bully. That's your setup? Alright, we have number 61. Enchanted Village. Okay, then we go to the third setup of... Is there actually a group that we've not... Okay, there has to be a blue one in here. That's a rule. Okay, there is gonna be a blue one. Dual Information Duel. Because we didn't have any blue ones. Also, we don't have any pink ones, if I'm not crazy. Okay, so we have to draw a pink one too. Because we cannot have 2 pink ones in the next one. Oh, it's not yours, you lost setup. Aha. Yeah, if you impersonate people, you get banned. Absolutely. Alright, last one. If it's not pink, I have to put it in the next group, which is not the case. Rush with a Shush, also blue. This is also a setup I remember. This was with the Corruptor and the Voodoos and the Grumpy Grandmas. Alright. There's only a few more left to grab here. Okay, 57. Fool's Mate, that's a pink one. Alright, then everything else is gonna be in the last group, I guess. That is... 3. Evil Bully, the one you mentioned, Poppy. Guess that dude finally ran out of alts. Okay, 54, the Bombermania. And what is that one? Purple. And then we have one more. That's a red one, I guess. That should be Duo Faction Alliance. It is. Alright, this is the last setup. So this is the draw. In case you made one of these setups, let me know. I'm curious. I think there might be someone who made setups in this that is still in. Fiverr Show, if you're a big Bomber fan, I guess. I could actually look up what it was exactly. I don't recall all that well what it was. Wait, I can also check how it was rated. What setup is that? 54? 54, let me check. I have all the sheets here still. The ratings. Okay, 54 is here. Oh, this was actually really good. This was the winner of a really good group, and it got a 9.6, so this is a good setup as well. I can check real quick what the setup was about as well, I suppose. You're paranoid of people. Oh, Dama, I've actually experienced impersonation too in the past in Wolvesville. That was annoying. The developers had to intervene. Oh, this is by My Stream Mystery. Bombermania is... No... Oh yeah, Hidden Roles on Dev. 9-player game. Oh yeah, I remember this. And it is with random support. So, and that was more... Yeah, this one was a puzzle game, kinda. It was... So it was... You had 2 Morticians, 2 Cursed, 2 headhunters, a bomber, and 2 random supports. And the random supports were Mortician or Cursed. And then there was a reason for everything to be there. So the headhunters are like counter Mortician. So the headhunters are going to be Mortician claimers. Morticians are the only one who can find the bomber. The Cursed are like there to have like be non-possible targets for the headhunters. And then you had the random supports for the extra spies. I remember this. So the headhunters are going to push the Morticians. The Morticians are going to push the bombers. And the Cursed are just like villagers that are not possible headhunter targets. It's kind of like tic-tac-toe, yeah! Make it sub-only chat, I will. Let me do that. Where is that? I think that's something I should... there is a setting for that. How do you do that again? I've never done it actually. Poo. Yeah, I'd probably just subscribe, I know, but... Zombie is S rank. Yes, it is. I don't know how I can actually enable that. That's something I should totally know actually, but yeah, I don't stream enough apparently to know that. Where could that be? Settings. It's stream settings, of course. Not even there? Okay, well... Thank you for the info, just subbed. Thank you for the sub, Emily. Alright, I think I'm just gonna call it a day. I'm gonna look up how to fix the sub-only chat. Like, I don't know if that will be something I will always turn on, but if needed, if that's gonna help, then sure. Is it possible? I think in Twitch it would be, but... Nah, even there, I don't know. I don't know if that's possible to have a timer. What about the random? What do you mean with random? Random killer tournament. Oh, you mean the normal, the all random? Yeah, today we're not gonna do an we're not gonna do a killer lobby today. But we will do that. We'll definitely do that next time again. Yeah, we're not gonna play today. We're just rolling, and now we are. Yeah, we just rolled. There's an all of you 5 show, I think. Next week. I will not be live. I will make a top 10 actually, which we also did on stream basically today. Next week I will just do a top 10 strongest solo killers in my opinion. And then the week after I will be back. That will be the 27th, yes. Got new alts here. Yeah, probably. Might be. Like, if there's like not that many people and there's suddenly like extra people, then it might be the odds, yeah. Alright, thank you for being here. Also, thanks to everyone for letting me know about the alts and stuff. Dama Gaming, you're a new moderator here. I'm gonna see what I will do with the mod status. Maybe I add a second one. Okay, that was already a message, bruh. Alright. See you later, Milan. I'm gonna stop too. Next time, I will continue with the games, and you guys can join again, of course. And then, yeah, we'll start with that group with 42, 12, 29, and 43. You could watch back the streams and see what the setups were about if you want to, but yeah, the colors here that they identify with the... Also with the thumbnails, they're like... The thumbnails have the colors of the group, so yeah. Alright. See you later, and don't be a traitor. Goodbye.